This episode of the Date Podcast is sponsored by Bopsy. Meet up to 6 people over mobile video. It's video speed dating. Download Bopsy in the Google Play Store or iTunes. Check out bopsy.com.
We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. I understand I'm both an LPC and an LMFT. However, this is not intended as a substitute for professional services of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services.
Hey everybody, it's Zorric.
And Emma.
Host of the Date Podcast. We're so excited to do a show for you today. Because we have someone that's super cool that we're super excited to do a show with. His name is... What's his name?
I don't know.
Jack Stone, come on. You're so slow.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. There's Jack.
Is that your radio voice?
So that's Jack from a couple shows from the Bachelorette on ABC, if I can say that right.
Yes.
And Bachelor in Paradise. He's a Dallas native.
Yeah.
And he's a lawman.
Hey, I was.
Yeah. Oh, we need to get into that.
We can get into that.
Also, Jack is going to tell everybody rules you follow, you know you should break.
I have a lot of those. I'm interested to see like which ones he needs to break versus like the ones that I need to like break.
Oh.
Yeah, I like my rules. Hello.
Are you single
Rule
though?
follower. Yes.
See?
And I still like my rules.
All right, Emma, tell us about the podcast.
All right, so we are available on iTunes and Google Play or wherever you get your podcast. If this is your first time listening, go ahead and hit that subscribe button that's somewhere on that app. And then, of course, leave us a review telling us how funny you are, like what you want to listen to, how Zorric and I are like so funny together. Like just tell us like all the great things, you know?
All the things.
Literally.
Yes. And then if you have any like suggestions or topics or questions that you want us to answer on the show, leave us an email at hello@datepodcast.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at datepodcast.
Nice. So
Yes.
now for the fun stuff.
I do have fun stuff. Are you putting my anxiety-provoking music?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, we have Jack Stone here. Ah! Mother of pearl.
All right.
Okay. So we have, it gives me anxiety. Okay, anyway. So we have Jack Stone, who's here from The Bachelor.
Okay, yes.
Bachelorette, and then Bachelor in Paradise. And so my little gossip today is about the Real Housewives of New York.
Oh my God.
Can we hear
Do
more?
y'all not even care?
We do.
The anticipation.
I'm drinking wine.
Can't wait.
So, like when Bethany came back on Real Housewives of New York, she was like BFFs with Carol. And now on this season, they're like not friends anymore. They are feuding. So they're on opposite sides of the couch next to Andy. So, Andy likes them both, but they're feuding. So they can't sit together, right? Anyways.
You noticed that.
That's a therapy.
I'm not allowed to interrupt.
No,
Yes,
you
yeah,
can
you are.
anytime
Okay.
you want to.
Because that's messed up. Why can't they just put it aside and sit next to
Because
each
Andy
other?
has favorite people.
Okay.
Andy has favorite people. And if they are fighting with each other, like, he will separate them on couches because if I'm arguing with you and I'm sitting next to Zorric, like, I have to be like this all the time versus if I'm facing you, like, it's going to be like,
It's on.
It's like two dogs, like facing each other.
Yeah.
I'm not calling them dogs, but I mean, that's
No,
my
I get it. I get it. No, it's fine. You weren't trying to be insultive. It's okay. You were trying to bring an analogy that was like maybe not the best one.
Proceed.
So, yes. So they're fighting right now, and like apparently this last like reunion show, it's gonna be like explosive, and I am like here for it.
When's the reunion show?
I can't wait.
When is it?
I can't with y'all right
Do we
now.
know?
I
When's this coming up?
I don't appreciate y'all like pausing, crickets.
I was waiting for Jack to say
laughter.
something, but he didn't say anything.
Chirp. Yeah, there you go. Cue the sound effects.
There we go. All the sounds.
Did you just have that like ready to go?
I mean, it's just
before I said.
Yeah, he has that.
Yeah.
Oh, you have like a line of go-to sound effects.
Go-to.
that you can just.
You can't tell people our secrets, Jack.
Sorry.
Behind the scenes at the
You're literally recording that right now outside. Those are real crickets.
Yes. Lots of
Well, it's supposed to air tonight. Or on a Wednesday.
On a
at
Wednesday.
8 p.m.
Okay.
on Bravo.
I know I'll be tuning in.
I will too.
Oh my God.
Props
I
to
don't
Andy.
appreciate this at all.
Sounds like a party.
Okay. We can move on.
Okay. We can.
I want to hear what the viewers think about this.
The viewers.
Swipe up and subscribe.
Yes. They're probably
Listeners, viewers,
listeners.
and both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We can move on. We can talk about Jack now.
Okay.
Jack,
Jack,
tell us about yourself.
how's it going?
How was it growing up?
Wait.
Being what?
You're stealing my thunder.
Oh, okay, right. Zori likes to take the leads on
Yeah.
these things. Okay.
So, how's it growing up?
What was it like growing up? Just in general? Is this just like a...
So you're from Dallas,
Yeah.
Hillcrest High School.
Hillcrest. Yeah.
How was that?
So, well, I mean, I'll give you the 1 minute quick summary because no one wants to hear someone talk about themselves.
No,
for more than a
that's
minute.
why you're here. We wanna hear
well, thank
I
you.
am.
Well, in that case.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also a marriage and family therapist, so my life is other people talking about themselves.
Okay, fair enough. Where do we start? Born and raised in Dallas.
Nice.
Only child.
Which hospital?
Oh my gosh, we don't have to go to
No,
that detail.
I was
What percentage of your listeners live in Dallas? Would they even know?
60%.
Oh, that's pretty high,
Pretty
actually.
high. The rest are in California.
I think
40.
I'm a Baylor boy. I got to check
Baylor?
on
Me
that,
too.
though.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Baylor boy in the house.
Where did
It was called St. Paul when I was born. It's not. I don't think.
St. Paul
I think
in the
it's
house.
Southwestern now.
Defunct. It went bankrupt. No longer in existence.
I don't know.
St. Paul.
just like Enron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smartest guys in the room. Check out that movie if you haven't. Great doc on Enron. See, no one listening to this even knows what Enron is.
I know what
young.
Enron is. I'm just trying to get the connection
It's
of
not a
like
robot, okay?
St. Paul Hospital to like Enron.
I don't know. We somehow got off path
Oh,
there. didn't
okay.
we?
Yeah.
Okay,
Back
so
to the Baylor.
only child, parents divorced.
Okay.
I lived with my mom after my parents divorced. My mom passed away from breast cancer when I was in high school.
Man.
Last year, high school, moved in with my dad. My dad and I, are very close. And when I went off to college in Austin at UT, my dad moved up to where his family is, which is in New York. And so I still have, family here in Dallas, my mom's side, and my dad's side is all up in New York. And here I am. Went to UT for college, went to UT for law school, came back here, worked at a couple big law firms, hated law, knew I wanted to get into real estate, and pretty, kind of off and on, new in real estate, been doing real estate related stuff, side hustle for a while, and now made that leap into commercial real estate. So,
Very cool.
yep,
Yeah.
Nice.
So
that was pretty quick, right?
never
That
mind,
was
go
pretty
for it,
quick.
Zorric.
You just lost like 10 listeners from that.
well,
easily.
no, I'm sure we gained 50 listeners.
Yeah.
But so, how were you in high school? Were you that? Were you the guy like picking up women? I mean, tell us about that.
Late bloomer.
Late bloomer.
Okay.
Probably hit puberty at 23.
First girlfriend. when?
That might not be right, but definitely.
It's okay. Like most men are like males are late bloomers. Like just unfortunately, like as females.
In what terms, though?
Yeah.
Like
well,
just like reproductively, and then it's also like certain like social cues. Like we are always like you guys. So males.
Oh right, I'm 33. But I'm 23.
Right, like males are like always catching up to females. Like yes, so
Right.
I am 31. I probably like have like there's certain things that I'm probably like better
Yeah.
than you because
Yeah,
even though
well,
like he's 33 and I'm 31.
You're not hurting
yeah.
my feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's not uncommon. You see that 12-year-old kid, he's 5'2", and that 12-year-old girl, and she's 5'7".
I don't know what that is like. So
Well,
Yeah. We're a little shorter here
like
on this side.
wish I was a little taller myself, but I get it.
Yeah. So late bloomer, first girlfriend when? High school?
I
Maybe?
mean, pretty early on.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know.
Nothing.
How old was? I mean, I wasn't like
Yeah.
oh, I'm in college. I'm getting my first girlfriend. Let's say freshman year of high school. No, middle school. I was in middle
Oh.
school, 7th grade. Had a girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
We kissed.
ooh.
Crazy.
Ooh, that was your first
I was
kiss?
freaking nervous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think probably, didn't finish growing till I was freshman year in college. When you're a guy and you're a late bloomer, it sucks. Mm-hmm. Right? Have you guys talked about this yet?
No.
It's the worst, right? Because girls are already kind of, growing up. You always have that one guy in your class who's got facial hair. He's like a freshman in high school. At first it's kind of weird, but then he starts crushing it. Maybe a couple, girls your grade are into him, a couple, grades older are into him. And when you're a freshman, sophomore, or junior in high school and you're a guy, girls are like, oh, I'm going out with, they want to go out with a senior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? You know what happens, right? You get to be a senior. Zorric, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I know all about it.
Yeah, you get to be a senior. And suddenly these girls, they're in your class, they were always going after those senior guys. Are like,
freshmen.
oh, shit.
Yes.
Yeah. You're a senior now. And you, that's when you can throw it back in their face and be like, nuh-uh. I remember.
Oh my gosh.
I remember how you just blew me off my freshman year.
Oh my word right now.
Revenge is sweet.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
So you've been dating.
So on the petty level, like, where is that?
Oh my God.
Every guy in high school listening to this, all one of them is knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We know. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
if you're in high school, don't worry, it gets better.
That's what I said last week.
It does.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay. Anything serious though, like engagements or maybe in college?
No engagements. I've had two really serious girlfriends before my girlfriend currently. And,
okay.
And one of them was in law school. She's great girl. I have great things to say about her. And the other was 2 or 3 years ago. And I think you learn from every relationship, and guys are always ready to commit a little bit later. Girls are kind of ready to commit.
I was like, what?
Yeah, girls are kind of ready to commit at like 10.
Oh yeah,
they're ready. Just
I'm ready now. I'm ready now.
Yeah. If you're listening, men.
That's her sound.
What?
But don't forget, she has rules.
Yes, she has lots of rules.
Yeah.
Home by 8 p.m.
I'm not a fan of like Zorric and Jack
teaming up.
No, we're not teaming up. I mean,
no.
I
get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to have rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't meet your criteria, or you're looking for something special?
I just don't, look, I mean,
maybe you're ready.
Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. There's some intangibles you just know it's not right. And sometimes you're just not ready,
Yeah.
In law school, I was, still in school.
Yeah. And I give you props for that, because a lot of people don't recognize that they're like not ready. And so even though it's kind of like, I'm not ready, I'm hesitant, I have anxiety about this, I'm a little agitated, like a lot of people still go through with that commitment because they it's really more about the worry and the fear of being alone.
Right.
Because if I'm alone, that means that I am not worthy of anyone.
I think that is much more sort of female-centric idea. I really do. I think for whatever reason, women tend to have more of a tendency to value their own self-worth based on whether they're in a relationship or not. I don't think men.
We've talked about this before,
and
it's for me, like I've spoken about this. For me, it's more like the societal message that I get, like culturally and societally, like I have a master's degree, I am employed.
You don't need that.
Right. However, the fact that I am still single and childless does not like where's my worth? The society and culturally,
welcome
that's
to
where it comes.
I blame Disney. I mean, no, but also kind of
yes,
right.
And no, because even before Disney, that was the message that was given. And I've said Zorric hates it when I talk about. Well, I don't think you hate it, but you always make fun of me because I like to talk about the hierarchy of needs
all the time.
All the time.
Maslow.
Maslow.
Every year of college, we had to learn him. I don't know why. It's like every professor wants to talk about Maslow.
It is the basic foundation of things. And so, back in the day, like I've said before, marriage wasn't because you're like, you need to find your worth based on like being a wife and a mother. It was, you need to get married for finances. Now we can actually self-actualize and question, do I need someone to complete myself? And then society and our parents and our culture is telling us yes. And in reality, like, we feel fulfilled, but we feel like, or we believe there's a void that is not being met because here's this one thing that we don't have because everyone else is telling us we need it. Like, do we actually need it?
It's pretty crazy. Times are changing really fast, right? I mean, when I was in law school, I think more than half our class was female. It was unheard of 20 years ago. Unheard of. And I think the expectations of, what it means to be, a woman, in the modern era who has her shit together, it's just changing. But I think there's going to be a backlash. I really do. I think in 20, 30 years.
Do you not think we have it? I think we have it now.
I do. But I think there's going to be this backlash of, of women wanting men who are men again, right? I think there's this sort of, I don't know how to explain it.
I think because, okay, so with that, I will add that, yes, I think, like, for me now, I taught, like, my dad to me is like, my dad's like a man's man, right? If I need anything fixed, like, he will try to fix it for me. And if he can't, he'll outsource, right? So I remember dating a guy and I needed an oil change. So what I typically do, anytime I need an oil change, I'm like, Dad, I need an oil change. All right, I'll take care of it. Okay, so I was dating this guy and I was like, oh man, I need an oil change. And it caught me off guard because he goes, oh yeah, if you give me the money, I'll take it to the shop for you. And I was like, you don't know how to
but that guy's a hustler, right? Like, he's busy, he's got business deals going on. He's like, look, it's easier to do it this way.
But can you see, like, where I'm coming? Like, this is like, for me, like, this is what a man's man is.
Listen,
like,
I get it. I was just in that same situation. So I've changed tires. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I've changed a few tires in my life. Zorric, changed a few tires.
One maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when I say a few, I think one as well. But
don't peacock. Don't peacock.
My girlfriend just the other day, tire blown out. What do we do? Oh my God. I'm headed to work. Got a bunch of stuff I got to do. What do? I call up, the guy that, I get a free service with my credit card that comes, and call them up. 10 minutes, they're there. Changes the tire within 5 minutes. Would have taken me longer than that. It's just not efficient.
Yeah, and she doesn't look down on you for doing that.
I called the guy. I said, hey, you there? I made sure she was okay. He seemed like a really professional guy. She was on her way to, work in no time. It was just, sometimes it's just, hey, modern era.
Why do we have to change your tire, Emma?
Let the professional do it.
Because
he's doing it every day, 10 times a day.
My traditional stereotypical roles is that I don't get to change the oil in my car because there's always a male person in the family that can do it for us.
That's her role.
That is my stereotypical
But what's wrong with the male in your family being like, look, this guy does it for a living. He's going to be faster, more efficient.
And if you listened earlier, I said, and if he can't do it, he will outsource. No, he will outsource. And so, like, there's, like, things that we know that there's limits to. But my thing is, like, if I'm having, like, okay, so if you're going to give me this crap about, like, there's going to be backlash, I agree. And I am proving your point that, like, you want to be needed. Okay, I'm giving you a reason to be needed. Like, don't, like, if I'm needing you and I'm telling you I'm needing you, like, come to the rescue then. Yeah. If that's really what you want your role to be, then do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But he can rescue you with, calling somebody, hiring somebody, or doing it himself. As long as he gets the jobs done, right? Like, yes. As long as it gets done. You're good.
Yes. But then don't give me crap about other stuff.
But you want a guy to be somewhat chivalrous still. I mean, opening doors should just look, we live in Dallas. Right, I think it's different in other parts of the country, but it's like, duh. Obviously, you're gonna open a door for, not that long ago, I'd open a door for a girl and she would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you just did that." That I think most women still appreciate that sort of chivalrous, old school mentality, but you still do get backlashes from that, right? I mean, there are parts of the country where people don't want that. They don't.
Yeah.
I've been sort of told, kind of given a bad look for opening a door before, or
Anyone's
that's
always
just an
welcome
example.
to open my door at any time. If you wanna date me, the expectations you also.
But
open up my car door.
I mean, I don't know. You're never gonna make
I'm just
everyone
being
happy.
a jerk right now.
Okay, back to being a lawyer. We were there, right, before we went somewhere else.
To our tangent.
I liked our tangent.
Yeah, it was a great tangent. What motivated you to be a lawyer? Was that something you wanted to be as a kid?
Good question, Zorric. No, I grew up with learning differences. I had a little ADD, a little dyslexia. Really had to work my ass off to kind of overcome that. I remember I was lucky enough to go to a school that kind of helped me with that. I remember my mom making me take extra homework home. And I eventually, ended up overcoming it and being able to, and I think I always had part of me that just wanted to prove that I can do it. And law school always seemed like the ultimate you can prove. And you always hear these stories about people who are lawyers who are so successful and going to these amazing things. And I thought, it'll open the door to a lot of different things. So in college, I decided I'm going to go to law school. I, ended up, changing my GPA around from my freshman year to, shit to something that was really, really, really good. And studied my ass off for the LSAT, got into a really good law school. So that's what I'm doing. But, I came to learn that not everything's what you think it is. I had people tell me don't go to law school who are lawyers. And I said, you know what, that's for you. I'm going to learn it for myself. And I did it. And I learned, man, this is, it's great for some people. Don't get me wrong. But what you do as a lawyer is much different than what, the success stories you hear of someone who's making multi-millions of dollars. It's so rare. B, to get there, you're really spending 10, 15 years staring at a computer, reading contracts or writing motions all day. It's different, 20, 30 years ago, maybe you were out there making deals, you were out there arguing before a judge. Only 1% of cases now actually go to court and go to trial. So it's just a different game, not for me, not my personality, but if you're the type of person that I think really likes to be, really cerebral and just be by yourself and stare at a computer all day and just think, great. I think it's a great path to go down.
Yeah. And that's a great testament to your mom, because I think if a parent is really involved with their kid early on, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a real indicator of success.
Well, it's really tough. My mom passed away when I was beginning of my when was it? Beginning of my senior year. My mom passed away, and she never got to see me go on to the college that I went to. And I don't think she really thought that I'd be able to make it at UT. Honestly, that's where I went to school in Austin, because it's such a big school. You don't have someone really holding your hand. You can get lost in the weeds. And I, it's tough when you lose a parent or someone, close to you, that they don't get to see you go on to do things. She didn't get to see me. I mean, I think, never did she think I'd probably go to, UT for law school and, go on to work at the firms I've worked at and all that stuff. So, it's tough. But yes, I think one of the reasons why I was able to do that was having that encouragement and extra work and everything you need, the building blocks.
Should definitely give you that foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you subscribe to that theory that we want to marry women like our mom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
Now let's be clear about that. I don't know if I want to marry anyone that looks like my mom or was my mom.
like,
or,
I think like personality traits,
the
nurturing
independence.
piece.
My mom was a very independent woman, and I have found that every sort of girl I've really been into, or it's been someone who had a strong sense of who they were.
Yeah.
And was confident and independent. And I think that's what my mom sort of exuberated always.
Mm-hmm. Are you pretty close with your dad?
I am. We've gotten really close. Yeah. I mean, I love my dad. We talk almost every day. We're very different and very alike. But, he's a huge supporter, really helped me, get through that time from, after my mom passed to now. And, yeah, he's kind of like a best friend of mine in a way.
Yeah, and any brothers or sisters?
No, just me.
Just
which
you?
which I'll say, I don't know if you guys talked about the only child aspect of things and syndrome.
No, because we're not only children.
Yeah.
We
Well,
have
I'm jealous. Okay, so I wish I had siblings, right? I think it's so unfortunate to be like, to grow up just being the only child is tough. And yeah, there's some pros and that's great. But like, you know, think about it for me, right? I lost my mom. My parents were divorced. I had no one to really, couldn't really talk to my dad much about it because they were divorced. It wasn't a good divorce. It was a very, so I was kind of left alone, right? There's no one I could really ever talk to about it. I think if I had a sibling, it would have made it so much easier. And I'm very jealous of those, you know, who have that support system there.
Yeah, and it's great that you kind of just stayed focused. You stayed focused, right? You went to law school and all that. I mean, that's pretty
well,
good.
what are you going to do in life, right?
Yeah. Some people spiral out of control, you know?
Yeah, I was always the type that, you know, instead of like, if I had a tough day, I wouldn't go, oh man, I got to go have a drink or whatever. And normally it was like,
So we use healthier coping skills?
Yeah, I think so. I'd wake up early, I'd go work out. I would do the sort of productive things that I think are just, you know, whatever. Why do I want to make things worse? I want to make things better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prove people wrong, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
okay.
And from there,
I'm not analyzing you, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, analyze away.
You're not paying
I'm doing
me,
it
so
all
I'm not
the
doing
time.
it.
Okay, so we talked a lot about Jack's childhood, which I don't think we've ever heard about. Have we? On any? Have you talked about? Maybe.
Maybe gone that deep.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
What
But-
else to feel comfortable with us right
Yeah.
now?
I think it's because like I know I'm in the presence of a therapist. Where's the couch?
We should.
That's a misconception. That's Freudian psychotherapy. We don't
Which
do
is a
that.
whole nother topic.
Yes.
Don't get me started on Freud.
Have you been on therapy? In therapy?
Hell yeah, I'm a huge proponent of therapy. I think it's great.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, I think look, there's that misconception, I think more so in the South, right? I think there's a regional thing of like, it's like means something's wrong with you or, you know, if you go to New York or LA, listen, like everyone's mom and dad and kids and friends and family, they all go into therapy. It's just part of life, you know?
Love it.
Anyways.
Mental health awareness.
Dude, who cares, man? You're just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a way to, you know, better yourself, right?
If you
Who
go to the
doesn't want
doctor because you have a stomach ache, you go to the doctor and get checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're a narcissist and just like talking about yourself, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
we'll call
one's
you
gonna-
out if you're a narcissist,
Just like, yeah, you're paying someone to listen to you.
Yeah.
basically. But we'll call you out. We'll call you out on your crap. Like, take ownership of your crap.
Yeah.
No, it's all their fault. No, it's not.
No,
it's your
not.
fault.
Yeah. But like, I wouldn't be like this if it wasn't for No, shut up.
I've only seen male narcissists. So,
Tons of narcissists out there.
There are.
male.
We can get into reality
joking.
TV. That leads us to reality
Speaking
TV.
of-
That leads us. Yes. So,
So-
we do have to talk about this just because our listeners are probably like, all right, when are they going to talk about this? So, okay, get ready, everyone. You can put it on pause, go do what you need to do, and come back because we're about to talk about it. All right. The Bachelorette.
All right, Jack. I don't know. I just want to know what you learned. Like life lessons, man.
From Bachelorette.
Yeah,
and,
because there's just so much. You were there for how long? A month
I was
or something?
in Bachelorette for 5 weeks, Bachelor in Paradise for the whole time.
Yeah.
Normally
So
it's
for
like-
those listeners that don't know the difference between the Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise.
First of all, good for you. We commend you. You're a smart person.
The first step.
Yeah.
Can you kind of let us know, like,
yeah.
what the difference
Can you
is?
let everyone know?
Yeah. Okay. So Bachelor's premise is you throw a bunch of women in a room and you have them try and fall in love with a guy within 8 weeks. Even if they get to cumulatively hang out with that guy for 2 hours throughout
That's
those 8
rough.
weeks.
Yeah.
Bachelorette, same thing, but lead being a female. Bachelor in Paradise is another way to sort of elongate this, make this into like a actual like year-round thing for ABC. So Bachelor in Paradise is same premise, but it's not just one man with, you know, a bunch of women or one woman with a bunch of men. It's a a group of alum from past seasons, men and women. And I mean, that's pretty much it.
And you're all trying to like figure out who's the one.
Yeah. So Bachelor and Bachelorette, you know, every week, 1 or 2 people don't get a rose and they go home. Bachelor in Paradise, there's always 1 week, there's more women than men. 1 week, there's more men than women. The group that there is less of gets to hand out roses. So there's always going to be someone going home of the opposite sex.
Gotcha.
Huh.
So
I think I summed that up pretty.
I think you did.
Yeah.
But we see a lot on TV that may not be true. I want to know, like, what happens when the cameras are turned off? Are you just hanging out by yourselves in your rooms?
Well, so, you know, Bachelor's different than Bachelor in Paradise, right? And I think viewers should, or listeners, viewers, whatever, there's a big difference between some different reality shows. I mean, I think everyone knows, you know, anyone with half a brain knows that, you know, what you see on TV is not real.
Yeah.
That's not just in scripted TV. It's also in quote unquote reality TV. If reality TV was generally or genuinely real, it would be very boring to watch, right? You have tons of hours. They can edit it however they want. They have a sort of narrative that they need to go down. If they didn't, if there wasn't a sort of climax with some conflict and you know, someone falling in love or getting their heart broken somehow, it'd be boring. But if you notice, every season it's the same thing. There's a reason why. It's because they make it that way.
It's like the most successful show, probably. I mean, they have a formula. Like,
they definitely have a formula, and it's worked, and they're going to stay true to it. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a big difference between the Bachelor franchise and other sort of reality TV shows. I mean, Bachelor franchise, you know, you're taken away from, you know, a phone. You're taken away from the news. You're taken away from your family and friends. And all you know is what the producers are telling you in your ear. So it's a real psychological sort of experiment.
So you're cut off from like all of your support system.
From everything, right? There are other shows like, you know, Real Housewives, right? Where they film one day and the next day you're not filming. And even with that day that you're filming, you already kind of know like, hey, you're going to go sit down and have lunch with so-and-so and you're going to talk about XYZ and we're going to record it. So there's not as much like gotcha or surprise or anything like that. Now, even with Real Housewives, I guarantee you, and I know some of them, and I know this is what happens, just like it is with Bachelor. You know, they'll take things and they'll cut it up and edit the edit room and get a reaction that happened a week ago and use it for this scene, right? But I, you know, from what I've gathered from, you know, everyone I know from other reality shows, I think Bachelor is much more manipulated than any other, and also a psychological, just, you know, total, you know, fuck show. I mean, it's just it's crazy. You know, I think it's an interesting world. I think, you know, I think you're always questioning why someone's actually there. It's part of actually the premise of Bachelor. I mean, one of the cliche statements is whether or not someone's there for the right reasons. Yeah. But I mean, it's funny to think about, right? Because if the right reason means to fall in love, why on earth would they be on reality TV?
Yeah. Did you feel like competitive too? Because you get a group of guys, and we're vying for one person. And
so even if you don't like that one person, you just naturally start thinking, well, shit, I gotta go. I mean, I do think I need a, and you're also thinking in the back of your mind that, you know, well, look, if I go home right now, even though I'm not into the person, look, everyone knows I'm gone. I don't want to go home early because of the competitive aspect. Also because the earlier you go home, the more, you know, you're not going to have as great of an edit, right? It's going to look better. If you're like the last person, they can't make you look bad because it would look weird to the audience if someone who looked amazing lasted till the very end. Yeah. You know, there are exceptions, but I mean, in this day and age with Instagram and all these other, you know, ways to make income or build a brand for yourself, to say that anyone would go on the Bachelor franchise to find love is sort of I think sort of a stretch. Hopefully it's somewhere in the list of reasons why they would go on it, but I know that it is never the number one reason. It just doesn't make sense. There's only a handful of couples that are together from, that have gotten married from the franchise, and there's been a collective, maybe 40 or so seasons of Bachelor, Bachelorette and offshoots. So it's not great stats.
Yeah. So you say it's like psychological warfare, or some issues there, psychological, whatever. How did you feel like those nights whenever you're just, hanging out by yourself?
It's crazy. You really it does start getting into your head. You're like, well, why is it she chose that guy for that? And then you talk to producers and they try, hey, well, you did this wrong. Or, maybe you should really say this to her. And then you talk to the other guys and they're saying the producers told them the same exact thing.
Oh, well, when does that happen? Is there like a meeting in the morning or something, or do they just?
So there are meetings where it's just very much like, hey, be ready. You guys got to be ready in 5 minutes for a conversation in this room for XYZ, right? But
it's so unnatural.
It's very unnatural,
right?
But
yeah.
The whole process is unnatural. It's not a comfortable, normal scenario to be in. At all.
For sure. And, if you're out of your comfort zone, you don't have your social support system with you and you're cut off from all media, from your phone.
You can't be you can't go on a date and then text her, later, make sure she got home or give her a call the next day or anything like that to see how you can't do that.
It sounds like it just kind of puts you on an emotional edge.
Well, I think the other thing is there's an acting component to it. Mm-hmm. And I don't care who you are, if you've been on this franchise, if you're really honest and true, you're going to know, you're going to just admit that there's an acting component. Because that if you don't act like you're there for the right reasons, in other words, being there to find love, you're going to look like an awful person, and they're going to make you look awful.
Yeah. So compare your date with Rachel to a real date.
Oh God. From the get-go, for those of you that don't know, I went home on my date with Rachel.
Oh yeah.
They made me look weird. And I kind of looking back on it, I could tell I was kind of being set up from the beginning. There was just little cues that it was all right, we're going to send this guy home somehow. That's the way I feel. For multiple reasons. None of it was realistic in a sense that, first of all, you got cameras in your face nonstop, which is unnatural.
And how long was that whole date? It seems so quick.
It was probably 2 hours, but you're constantly being interrupted. They're constantly pulling you aside to do an interview of just you, right? My date was with a bunch of people around us. We were in a public space, so it was nonstop people coming up and trying to talk to you, and and that's just not how a real date would ever go.
Yeah.
Right. And I was always kind of jealous about those who got dates that were much more in a private setting, where you're just chilling and talking. You didn't have all these interruptions, and it's just a lot more normal. Mine was shucking oysters.
Yeah.
It was a joke, right? How is this? How are you going to really get to talk doing this? You don't. So it was just very unnatural. My actual date was, it was 100 degrees outside. There were mosquitoes biting us. We were miserable.
Yeah.
I had bites on my skin for weeks. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I wasn't into her.
Yeah.
She wasn't into me.
We were talking about this earlier. We can see the body language from her that we can tell she wasn't.
But she's in an advantage, right? Because her advantage is, she's a lead. They're going to make her look good no matter what.
Yeah.
And she's got all these other guys, right? With me, it's this is the Bachelorette that I've been, dealt with, if you will, right?
Well, how did you know that? Did you know early on that you were not?
That I was what?
Not into her or not interested? Or
look, Rachel's a lawyer in Dallas. I've never really gone after lawyers. It was never a thing that I was into. And truthfully, she and I had that talk the first night. We were in fact, we had a really normal, good conversation about how we both don't go for lawyers ever, and of course they never aired that.
Yeah.
Because that would be, it would look like we actually had something in common, and there was some, right? So I kind of had to be honest, I was supposed to go on JoJo's season the year before.
Yeah.
And I turned it down last minute for a couple of reasons. My grandma wasn't doing great, and I was helping her out, and I just started a new job at a new firm, and timing wasn't good. And they basically asked me if I wanted to come back And that would have been for Rachel's season, although I didn't know it was Rachel yet. And they also told me, this is the last shot we're going to give you. We're not going to let you turn us down and then turn us down again. And, whether or not that's just something they say or not, I mean, it got to me and I said, I don't want to have regrets. Not doing this once in a lifetime deal. Wasn't really happy and fulfilled what I was doing as an attorney, and thought, why the heck not? Don't have regrets. And so I knew I was kind of all in. So it's funny, so my girlfriend is friendly with, JoJo and JoJo's brother, and we all kind of met now. And JoJo and I, we all hung out one time, and we actually pretty recently. And JoJo remembered me from college. She went to Baylor, I went to UT, so we ran into each other in college once or twice. And she was like, I remember when we went, I met you at, XYZ bar.
Oh, really?
And I'm thinking, how weird would that have been had I been on JoJo's season? We remembered each other. But what I wanted to say was, look, timing's everything, but JoJo, I have nothing but great things to say about. And, the cards I was dealt are the cards I was dealt, and whatever's in the past is in the past. I think things, hopefully happen for a reason. But, what you see on TV, even if it looks totally natural, I'm telling you, it's not natural. And if they want to, they can put some awkward or funny music to it, or they can put some romantic and amazing music to it. And it makes all the difference in every scene on any reality TV show you ever watch.
Yeah, and Em and I talk about this a lot. It takes really 100 milliseconds for somebody to realize that they're into somebody or not into somebody. I mean, was it that quick for you?
Yeah, what do you do when you go on reality? So, hey, mom, dad, everyone in my family, all my friends, I'm going on this reality TV show. I'll be gone for maybe 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever. You get there the first night, you're like, I'm not into this person. What are you going to do? You told your work that you're going to be gone.
Oh my gosh.
You did all this, you give up all this stuff, right? And you're not into this person. You also know that, maybe this could lead to something else. What do? You say, I'm not into her, I'm just going to go home?
It sounds like you kind of just sucked it up and dealt with it.
You got to suck it up.
Yeah.
I mean, and everyone does that.
Do you?
Well, look, you don't have to, but look at it this way, right? You go on the show, you tell producers, look, I'm not into her, I want to go home. How do you think they're going to make you look?
Oh,
they want to make this person look like they are God's gift. They want to make this person look like they're a great catch. They have everything. That's the premise of the show.
But did the producers know that you weren't into her? Did you give any indication?
I think deep down producers know why everyone's really there.
I gotcha.
Right? I mean, they're not idiots. They know what's up. But it's, it's not going to look good if you have 5 people saying in the first episode or second episode, I'm not into him.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're, knight in shining armor kind of doesn't look so great. And then it's like, why doesn't anyone want to keep watching this?
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting dynamic. I think it's something that's, I think part of the fun in watching it, and, we talked about this earlier, two types of people I think watch the Bachelor franchise. Those that like to just make fun of it and really just laugh at it because it's just so ridiculous. Yeah. And those that like to live vicariously through it. I think those that like to live vicariously through it are setting themselves up for a lot of disappointment because, as we all know, real life doesn't work like TV.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it just adds to that sort of, what we all already kind of know, this sort of false expectation of what real love is and what real perfect life is, because it's not all about what you see on TV and the movies.
For
real
sure.
life's different.
It does play into that vicarious thing for those who watch it, for vicarious reasons. And so it's because dating sucks. Dating sometimes sucks. It's not fun. And so it's the idea of being one person, whether you're male or female, and you have other people, that want you, that find you attractive, that want to court you, it plays into your ego. That's really what it is. It plays into your ego, and so you're like, yes, I am the greatest person in the world because look at all these people want me.
Everybody
when in reality, you're swiping on Tinder or Bumble, and it's left, 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 maybe right, left, you know.
It's kind of sad, right? And we live in this day and age where people want that gratification. This Instagram
Instant
age.
gratification.
How many
Yeah.
likes did I get for this photo? How many nice comments did I get? And I mean, the truth is that's not real life. Just like reality TV isn't real,
Right.
Instagram and social media, it really isn't real. And I think it's contributing to like depression. I think people compare themselves to things that really aren't real.
Yeah.
And I think it's contributing to these false expectations of what a relationship's supposed to be
I think
like.
Jack's been reading everything we've been reading because like we talk about everything.
Oh, I can
Are
talk
you-
about this because you guys got to understand, right? This happens to me all the time. Like
Yeah.
I'm always getting asked about things, and you know, not to say I have, you know, 1 million followers on Instagram, but more, you know, so than the average person. And it, you know, people are like, oh, it looks like you're having the most amazing. Well, look, real life is different than our social media life.
Yeah.
And I've noticed myself that when I am on Instagram too much, and I'm looking at people, I start to get kind of depressed. I'm like, man, why am I getting just sucked into this right now? So, I mean, I'll get on my girlfriend sometimes. I'll be like, wait, hey, we need to get off Instagram for like the next day.
Detox.
Like, just
Yeah.
put it down. Because it's just, and I don't care who you are. You might think so-and-so has the most perfect life from social media, but I promise you, it's not like that. And I promise you, they are also, whether consciously or subconsciously, comparing themselves to someone else on social media.
So I mean, we're all millennials here, right? So we kind of remember like that time when we didn't. And so yes, I've spoken about this before, where like social media has like really brought up the comparison, because on social media, like, are we allowed to be negative? No. Because if you're negative, you're not going to get the followers. You're not going to get the response that you want.
Right.
And so if you put this beautiful, shiny picture of yourself smiling, being joyous, being happy, more people are going to like that versus like that negative.
No one wants to follow
Right.
someone who's complaining about their career, job, or life. People don't want that. You have to do this. And you know, like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, I had a certain amount of followers or had this experience that is sort of very unique, right? I just think we live in tough times in a weird way, right? I mean, our parents never had to worry about this stuff, and we do. And
we're self-actualizing.
we are.
Right.
It's our fault, right? And you know, I think there's going to be a backlash in years against this.
Which I don't think that when Maslow was creating his hierarchy, this is what
He didn't know about
Maslow.
I think he probably thought like we're gonna like find ourselves and like be like
Yeah.
the better like
Little
part
did
of
he know.
who we are. And then social media came along, the internet. It was actually the internet came along, and the internet ruined the hierarchy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the hierarchy now is, and this I noticed this from a lot of like people I know on Instagram even, right? The hierarchy now is, what's the first level? What's the first level of hierarchy in Maslow's hierarchy?
Belonging.
Belonging. Now it's belonging to a fake universe of fake
Yeah.
people, right? Then there's one that's like about like society, like your level in society somewhere. I don't know where, something like that.
I haven't seen that one. I have seen
Okay,
the one
maybe
that's
I'm
a
wrong.
meme where it's like before like belonging and safety is like internet.
Yeah.
So internet and then safety and belonging.
Well, wait, what is Maslow's hierarchy needs? I should remember this because I had to do this every year.
I have to
Here.
pull it up because I always get them confused.
I'm already on it.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me? Okay. Physiological is the first one.
Yeah, so that's food, that's sex, that's breathing.
You got to have that first,
drinking.
right? People. Then you got to have safety.
Yes.
Then you got to have love and belonging.
Yes.
Then esteem, and then
Yes.
self-actualization.
Yes.
Well, we live in this world now where it's all virtual.
Uh-huh.
So whether or not you really have it or not is a whole nother. So esteem, what does that mean?
Like self-esteem, like how you view yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
How are we viewing ourselves these days? Based on how other people think about us
Exactly.
in social media.
Or how we think that we need to be.
Right, which also
On social
can come
media.
from social media.
Right. No, I'm saying like for me, social media is like how people think that we need to be.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, and you know, what happens is you see these people on social media who look like they're just, you know, they're traveling around the world having these amazing lives. Little do you know, there's some, you know, 68-year-old guy paying for this 22-year-old, you know, girl's trip in Bali, and you're like, how's she living this life? She's like, well, no, she's broke,
Or she can barely afford it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, I know it looks like she's like really, you know, and it's all just it's a facade, it's an image. People are just playing up this sort of, you know, fake life. So, anyways,
It
So-
reminds me of the Office's Second Life. No? Okay.
No?
Never mind.
Okay. Dwight Schrute.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I think everyone wants to
Hold on,
know.
huge fan of The Office. I don't know this one.
Are you serious?
What episode is this?
It's whenever Angela has broken up with Dwight, and Dwight is playing that virtual game, and then Jim.
Yes. And then
Okay.
Jim has his own character.
Right.
Yes. Classic.
Oh.
That's a great show.
I don't think
it's
you're
amazing.
actually a fan then.
No, I'm actually a really big fan. I literally, it's like my favorite. It's my favorite show.
Yeah.
I don't believe it right now.
Okay.
I'm
This is,
joking.
So,
love it.
Jack, I want to know from you, how did you learn how to kiss? Let's not talk about the show. Let's just talk about kissing.
Just in general?
Yeah, like because he's like the best kisser ever, and so like I want to learn.
Hey, man.
I'm gonna say out of this.
So
just gonna drink my wine.
Zorric's referring to a Bachelor in Paradise scene, and I learned like, first of all, it's TV, so not to like as much as I want to like brag and all, it's still reality TV. So let's just relax.
But you guys were still kissing.
But
though.
that's
Come
true.
on.
True. But I was I remember my first kiss was at camp, which is classic, right? And Jill, which is classic, was my first kiss.
Is he a flute player?
Well, my name's Jack. Don't forget
Oh,
this.
Jack and Jill. Okay, thank you. I'm like, my name's Jack. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
So, and I remember Margot was like, Jack, you totally got to kiss Jill tonight in the bunk. And I was so nervous. And we were like sleeping in sleeping bags next to each other. And we kissed. And then I went to bed. It's like
That's
the
so
lamest-
romantic.
But I thought it was so cool the next day. Then I probably went through like a 2-year stint until I went back to it.
So you got some good tips from her, I guess, or maybe
None.
she kind of.
I don't even think we talked about it again until I
No?
ran into her about like 3 months ago. And I was like, hey, you're my first kiss? And she's like, oh, yeah, cool.
That's
and we
funny.
like laughed about it. Yeah, so.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
You can laugh about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you had a lot of kisses during that show. Like
Yeah, Paradise was interesting.
Yeah. Did you like it better than?
Yeah, it's look.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I think little my true personality kind of shine through a bit, even though there's a million scenes that are just so taken out of context and edited however they want to edit it. But it's fun. You're hanging out on a beach with a bunch of people, girls and guys, and you're actually kind of getting to know each other some. And it's just totally different sort of environment to be in than Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Yeah.
So, and I had a really crazy season, right? I was last season when I was initial cast. Mm-hmm. So you always start off with this initial cast,
Mm-hmm.
which was nice to be, one of the first people there. And then they kind of stagger people in throughout. And I also was there through the very end to the very last day. So I got to kind of see everything. But what happened a week in, the show shut down because there was this whole sort of controversy about whether or not one of the girls in Paradise was I
don't know why y'all keep looking at me.
You're the therapist. She whether or not she consented.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it was.
I was not following you. I thought you were gonna say like slept with one of the producers.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me, but no. So we had like a week where we're just there not filming, which was crazy.
That
because
must
they
have
just
been
shut
like,
it down.
nice.
Well, it was weird, right? It was a weird limbo, and it was like, and no one trusted whether or not they were really not filming. Like they're like, hey, we're shut down completely, but there were still these cameras everywhere. Mm-hmm. So you're like, are these on or not on? You don't know. And we actually went home. And like 5 days later, after being home, I'm back in my office at the firm that I hated, and I got a call from the producer. Hey, can you be on next plane out tomorrow? And I was like, okay, hell yeah, let's do this. So we all flew back. And in that sort of 5-day sort of in between, I was, we're all getting calls from like TMZ and CNN wanting our comments on this. And I mean, it was a very, very surreal experience to go through. So I mean, that was a very unique experience to go through. And I think it forever changed the drinking situation on reality TV. They instituted a like 2 drinks per hour sort of checklist when you got it. And I'm sure I think they're still doing that now. And because that was part of the thing. It was like, maybe we need to be more careful about how much people are drinking. And I've never been like a huge drinker.
A little bit surprised that like it took this long for that to happen.
Yeah, to be honest, like you just said, I'm shocked something didn't happen prior that threw people through the loop. That was like, we need to do something about this, because drinking equals ratings, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I think there was a fine line producers in any show have to play on. We want people to drink some so they loosen up and can do embarrassing things maybe, but we also don't want to be liable for someone being taken advantage of.
Definitely.
By the way, to be clear, it was found nothing bad happened.
It was on tape, right?
They had it on tape, but it was found that like there was no improper or whatever. And, I still think that 2 people involved could have handled it differently. But that's just my personal opinion, and they're okay now, and I think they've moved on, so that's good.
Gotcha. So where are you today, Jack?
Commercial real estate for sure.
I think
I am in your recording studio.
You are here, but you mentioned a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Is that where you are right now, dating?
That's where I am right now.
Nice.
We've been together for a few months. She's great.
How did y'all meet?
This actually brings up an interesting topic here. I think we should talk about this.
Yeah.
Is this one of your rules?
It might be one of your rules actually.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get into
Let's
this.
do it.
All right. So we met on like Bumble or Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think it was Bumble. If you know how Bumble works, girls swipe, guys. I don't think I ever said anything to her on Bumble, but then I like DM'd her on Instagram like weeks later. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we ended up deciding, hey, like, we're going to go out. Okay. So it was like a Tuesday. We decided we're going to go out on a Friday. So we're going to go out on a Friday. And I said, okay, great. Like this was all through text. So on Wednesday, I pick up the phone and I call her. Because I'm one of those guys that feels like it's always great to just pick up the phone and call, right? And I think most girls respect that if you're over the age of 21. And
actually, no.
No, we found that most millennials don't like to pick up the phone.
God, we're doomed.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. I'm one of those that prefers to talk on the phone.
That's terrible. That's actually terrible.
Isn't it scary? Isn't it scary?
Dude, what the? Okay, so that's actually crazy to me, because anyone I've ever called has been like, I'm just, like, really impressed you picked up the phone and called me.
No, I have friends who like hate it when I call them or FaceTime them.
but okay, that's if it's being a friend. What if it's like a guy trying to?
No, they don't like it when people that they're dating are. Yeah,
see,
it's
like,
crazy.
do you want a man or do you want a boy? Right? Like,
it's a mixed bag out there.
And a lot of women want someone who's going to be like a man, but then they don't want them to pick up the phone and call. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me? I'm like agreeing with you.
Yeah, I know. So I called her. We had a great conversation. I said, hey, I'm really looking forward to Friday. Can't wait to see you. All right, great. Okay. That was a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Okay. On Friday at 2 p.m., I text her. And that's when I texted her to tell her, pick you up at 8 p.m. She said she made other plans. She thought I forgot.
Oh.
So.
Wait, okay, so let me clarify. I need clarification here. So Wednesday you called her, and was there any communication between Wednesday and Friday?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, so here's my thing, and then I'll let you guys chime in, okay? So, she said, hey, it's my only night that I can do anything. I want to, go ahead and lock up plans. And so I just went ahead and made some plans because I thought you had forgotten. But to me, it was like, I already said, and I had it on my calendar. Like, I made it official on my calendar on my phone, right? Like, Friday night, 8, date, right? And I'm an adult, put something in a calendar. I stick to it, right? So I didn't want to text her too early on Friday because I didn't want to look too eager, right? Maybe shame on me and for even trying to play that game.
I'm trying to hold it in right now because I have lots to say.
Okay, I can't wait. What I don't get, and we still have this debate to this day, and she said, be careful how you bring that up at the podcast if you bring that up. What I don't get is if she thought I had forgotten, why couldn't she just be an adult? We're all adults and be like, hey, making plans tonight, so let me know. Or just let me know, like, she's busy. She's got a lot of other things she could be doing. Hey, I'm about to make a plan with other people. We still on or not? What's wrong with that?
Go first, Emma.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. I have so much to say right now.
To clarify, it's should someone have to follow up early the day of? And if they don't, does that mean that they've forgotten the other person should just go ahead and
Okay, so as a therapist, I don't like the word should because no one should ever really do anything.
sound effect?
No, Jack!
That's the exclamation point. Go ahead, Emma. Go ahead.
Why is that like Mexican music?
Because she got
Kinda
so mad.
racist.
She got so mad when I played it. And she was like, "Are you playing this because I'm Mexican?"
Yeah,
I'm not Mexican!
She always says that. I'm not Mexican.
I'm Salvadorian.
Oh, anyone that's not Mexican and you call them Mexican hates it.
She does.
Because it's just assumed for those of you that aren't in Texas or California or pretty much any other state in the United States, because I think there's a lot of Mexicans.
Diversity.
Yeah.
That, people just assume you're Mexican.
I am not.
It's a lot of countries in Central and South America, people.
A ton.
Yes.
Learn your geography.
Technically,
okay.
yeah, we're North America, technically. So, okay. Anyways, I do know that about geography.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Wait. So hold on. For the audience, we're going into a different segment.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going into the segment about our rules.
Yeah.
So like rules that we have that we need to break.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's address his question.
Yes,
Jack's
I have.
question.
Yes, I have follow up stuff. So you called her Wednesday, and then made plans for Friday. So what was happening that Thursday, and like you said, like Friday, that there was no communication?
He was probably busy.
I was busy, and I thought about it because I was really looking forward to this date, but I didn't want to look like an eager beaver.
Yeah.
Want to look a little cool, right? Want to be like, hey, I'm busy. You know,
Okay.
maybe I'm.
Next follow-up question. On the conversation, were you saying, like, I finalized plans for us, this is where I want us to go?
No, I just said when we talked on the phone, I said, hey, really looking forward to like hanging out on Friday night. And whatever.
Oh.
So maybe it
okay.
was a little
Wait. Okay. So, Jack, I'm going to compliment you right now, and I'm also going to kick you a little bit.
Okay.
So my compliment is you are a very logical man, aren't you? That which is great. It's a strength, right?
Yeah.
So your strength is being logical. Okay. In your little logical brain, I can see exactly what you did. I can definitely see the intention behind it. However, I can also see like why your now girlfriend is confused by that statement because you left it open. So like, yes, I look forward to seeing you Friday night. Let's hang out Friday night. Let's hang at like 8 o'clock, whatever. There was no like solid plan.
So there was plans for dinner.
Okay.
To be clear.
Where?
Didn't have the time or place chosen yet.
Okay.
So
that is open, right? That is still open. So yes, you have like an idea of what you want to do. You have the activity, but there's no time and there's no location.
Exactly. And I recognize could have been a little more specific up front.
So, right. So in her brain, yes, you decided you wanted to do something. And yet in her mind, her emotional mind, probably, right? There was no like, these two other boxes weren't checked. So like it's up in the air. Is he not? However, I think that part of it is on her too, because yes, I do believe if she had these questions, it would have been helpful to reach out.
Yeah. Brittany, you listening? This is from a therapist.
I'm not letting you off the hook either, though.
All right. Well,
Gotcha. So what do you have, Jack, as far as rules that we should break? You think we should break?
I think once you get to a certain age, a lot of rules go out. Right?
Do they?
Yeah.
Well,
I think
the whole like wait till you respond to a text bullshit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like I think you get to a certain age, you're like, fuck it. Just gonna, hey, yeah, just respond like a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Like who cares? But I think that's a rule. I think that's one of those unsaid rules that need to be broken. But you don't want to. I still think be careful with how many texts you text without getting a response.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
You don't want 4 texts in a row without a response. Then you look like a psycho, even if you've been with the same person for years.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like friends, I will blow up their phone. I don't care. You can ask Zorric. Like sometimes he doesn't answer me, and then I'll like send text after text after text after text after text.
How do you feel about that?
I don't even.
We're friends. It doesn't
care.
matter.
Yeah. But if I'm dating somebody, it's a different
Right.
story.
Yeah, you look psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, relax.
Yes, isn't that the funny the difference between like friendship versus like girlfriend?
Yeah. Why is
Boyfriend?
that? Because really, like at the end of the day, I think the most successful relationships are those that are based on true friendships.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little sex.
Do we have a noise for Jack for like making a good point?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Where are those people coming from?
They're a gallery.
Live in front of a live audience.
What else do you have, Jack? Any other rules?
I don't know. Oh, here's one. You can't meet your family until a certain time because you're
that's
like,
a good one.
Who gives? Who
I'm
cares?
in a drink right now.
Who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
I really I don't think it matters. Like if you're dating someone for a week or two, who cares if your family meets them? I mean, it's someone you're dating for a week or two. Why are you hiding it? You didn't tell your family you're going to marry this person. You're just, hey, like, relax. That's my point.
So
like,
I think for me, like that is a difference between like white families versus Hispanic families.
how so? Oh, white family's more conservative about that. Don't want to bring someone around.
No.
Opposite.
Like, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because like you were saying right now, like if you're just dating them for a week and they're like, if they like, you're not marrying them.
To be clear, when you say white, you mean of European descent.
Caucasian.
I don't know what that means either. European descent.
I'm confused.
I know white Latinos, okay?
I'm a white Latino.
There's a lot of white Latino. One of my best friends is white Latino.
All right, yeah, sure. European. I mean, though, like Spanish is European, though. Like, what do you want from me right now?
That's a good point too. Damn it!
I am a white Latino. Like, I don't know what.
You can't classify anyone these days. You gotta be really careful.
All right.
What
How
are you
about?
saying?
Okay. Anyway, so but like, the point is.
Oh, family.
Yes. So like, if I was dating someone for a week and I brought them to meet my family, my mom would the next day be like, "So, how serious is this? Are y'all gonna get married? Where's the babies coming?" And I'm like,
God.
"Nope."
That's on your mom.
It's on.
You need to tell her to push the brakes. Just relax.
You tell my mom that.
Where's the phone?
No,
happy
please don't.
Dial her in. Well, it's funny you say that. We got your mom on the phone.
All right, Jack. Any other rules?
No, I mean, must love dogs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we're both dog guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't date anyone with a cat.
I don't own cats. I don't like
Okay.
cats.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah.
We don't like cats.
We're all dog people.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. I'm afraid to go.
Go ahead.
I'm afraid.
Go.
Go.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
I might close my eyes on a lot of these. Okay.
Okay.
So one of my rules, and I've spoken about this before, is like I don't send emojis when I'm dating someone.
But you can break that. Do you send emojis?
So used to be of that mindset. I think it's become much more acceptable in 2018.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I remember a few years ago being like hearing girls be like, he sent me an emoji. Like that is so, I guess it was associated with either being a child or very feminine.
No.
Why don't you do emojis? Because when you're texting, you don't understand the tone.
Yes.
Right.
And it's a very effective way of showing tone. And you can only use so many exclamation points before you start looking crazy or really upset. Or overly excited about things.
I just don't use them when I'm dating someone until like it's more into the relationship.
Ugh, absurd.
You should break that.
Break it. Are you single right now?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It's all
There
the
you go,
emojis.
people.
It's because of the emojis.
It's because of the emojis.
Yeah. I'm going to therapist you right now. We're going to get down
Wine.
to
Where's my wine?
What else do you have, Emma?
So
I don't
Bumble,
get that. All right. Well, I just don't. You can use an emoji here and there. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't ever use the king. Yeah, there are a couple of things that really do piss me off.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna get off of this tangent, and then we'll get back to this. I'm like taking over the podcast right now. I'm sorry. So, one, I hate it when girls use the word queen. Like, yeah, queen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We've
It's
had
like
an episode
so
about
basic, man. Like, I hate that. What's another one
I
that's
like being basic sometimes.
and they put the crown emoji. What's another one?
that. How old are these women that are?
my age.
Really? Oh, like
30s.
30s?
There's a lot of base. There's a. I think you're too old for that when you're in your 30s to
Yeah.
be doing those basic things.
Okay.
What's another one?
I refuse to be called old.
How old are you again?
31.
Oh, no, I'm just joking. You're a baby.
Yeah, you are.
Honestly, you really are.
Yes, I am younger than
Listen
both of
to
you.
us.
So
Yeah.
All right, Emma.
All right, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
it's okay.
Couple more.
That was pointless. what I just said.
The exception of Bumble, I don't message a guy first.
Okay.
Bumble's the only place that I do because that's like how the app works, right? So on anything else, like if you match with me, like don't expect me to make the first move.
Do you see that as needy if a woman messages you first?
No, I think it's attractive because
Yeah?
it shows some confidence.
Okay. Webos.
Thank you. However, my experience. So
But don't use an emoji.
Yeah.
Right.
No queen emojis.
So here's how my brain works, right? So this is how I'm wired, and so a lot of times, like our brain, when we create neural pathways, we look for evidence to like that proves this thought. So my thought is that like as a woman, my role is not to message the guy first, it's to wait for the guy to make the message first, because if you message first, you're either too assertive or you're looked down on. Okay, I'm not saying it's right. This is the message that I have, right, in my brain. So whenever, except for Bumble, I have made the first move, there has been like very like small instances where that hasn't blown up in my face, where I haven't been called like it's too much for me, I can't handle, which I know is back on the guy and I get it 100%. However, like the rejection plays into my thought that I shouldn't do this anymore, and there's that should that I hate, but that's how my mind thinks.
Yeah, that's how guys always feel, by the way.
Yeah.
Right now, by the way, Bumble, you can only match if you message the guy. I thought. No, that's not right. So you just don't ever talk to anyone on Bumble because the only way to start talking is if the girl messages.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like on Bumble is the only exception.
it's
like
but
on
then,
Tinder.
yes,
Who's on Tinder still too?
There's a lot. They're
There's
the
a lot
market
of people
leader.
on Tinder.
Market leader right
they're
now.
still,
Really?
yeah.
They're
God.
killing it.
We'll show you the research.
Last I
We have
checked, it was terrible, and then Bumble started going downhill too after that. Now it's just
Yeah.
they keep getting more elitist.
Yeah.
Now you have the league, and you got the one that's like for celebs.
Raya.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we live in weird times. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Last one. What you got?
Oh, this is one that I am not going to break because I like made this rule for myself, and I've talked about this one before. Like 2 drinks max on a date.
Oh.
So you don't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh. So what are you saying would happen if you had more than 2 drinks?
I don't.
She'd show her cleavage, most likely.
Sound effects.
I'll wait on that.
No,
All right.
I'm really good.
right.
I actually have really good self-control sometimes.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's good.
So
have fun sometimes though too.
I do have fun.
Okay.
Do you, do you not think? I will tell you how fun I am off air. Just wait. You're going to want to be my
Listeners are
friend.
gonna be so curious.
I
what
know,
goes on.
like what's going on.
Yes.
So I have 3 that Jack already talked about.
I'm sorry.
I know, but so one is like
No,
don't,
get creative and think of one more
Okay.
that's not Jack's.
I like mine. So I guess we think alike. But don't be too eager, right?
Mhm.
Don't text somebody too much. Don't call somebody too much. Don't just don't do too much. But I think it's okay. You can do too much.
Yeah.
I can text her the next day and say, "Oh, how's your day going?"
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can ask her out.
I'm
The next
considering this place for us to go to dinner
Yeah.
tomorrow at
Yeah.
8.
But I'm considering this place for us to go to dinner in 2 weeks from now. Like, is that a little
Oh,
much?
no, I thought the date was the same week.
Yeah, but I think
Oh,
like
okay.
there are other examples where
Got
maybe
it,
a
got it,
little
got it,
bigger.
got it, got it.
Yeah, and also I give this advice: date multiple people until you're exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
But why don't you just date one person? I mean, why can't we just break that and just like focus on one person?
Why
Because that
can't
one
we
person's
work on the
probably
FOMO?
that one person's probably dating multiple people.
But why can't everyone
Isn't that on
follow
them,
this?
though, at that
Yeah,
point?
it is
Not on
them.
you?
Also, like, if you're not in a committed relationship, like, have fun. Go date
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. And my last one is don't talk about politics, money, or religion. What do you guys
On the
feel
first
about
date?
that? Who cares?
Okay, well, here's the deal. Huge deal breakers with relationships, like, right? Religion, politics, money, all big relationship killers at the end of the day. Might as well get that out right at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I had someone who, my first date, she was like, "Who did you vote for?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And that was like a big deal breaker. So
Who'd you vote for?
I
He
can't
won't say on
I
air.
won't- I won't say on air.
Smart
I
move.
won't let him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say one side, we lose half the listeners.
Did you say it and she just walked out? Like,
No,
right away?
no.
No, she stayed
No.
for the free meal.
No, she stayed. We went
Okay.
to a great restaurant at Water Grill. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Off McKinney.
Yeah.
Really
What do
good
you think?
seafood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
I
good.
mean, it's a chain, right?
Is
I mean,
it?
Yeah. See, I just
Oh.
see.
You
now
just
you don't-
burst his
Now you don't
bubble.
look
No.
at it the same.
You just made him so sad.
That
I
was
think
like,
it's good. I think for what it is, I think it's kind of overpriced
yeah.
a little bit.
You just burst
I
his
should have
little
taken her
bubble.
to like
So sad.
Fearings or something. You ever been there?
Yeah, I think I'm not a big fan of that anymore.
Oh
I
my gosh,
like
really?
Albernays a lot. Love
Yeah.
that place. Have you been to Vines, the place in
Oh, the new one.
what's it called? In the Crescent?
360 Vine or 60,
60 Vines.
or
60 Vines. For
no.
the listeners that aren't in Dallas, it's like a wine on tap joint. Really cool ambiance.
I love wine so much.
Everyone likes wine now. It's cool. But what are your feelings on alcoholic soda water? Like White
The
Claw
seltzer water.
or White Claw or Truly.
Yes.
I've never
I think
tried
it's
it.
great for the pool.
Great for pool.
I
Yeah.
love it for the pool.
Yeah, amazing.
It tastes better in the pool. I've actually had it. And I've also had canned wine because you can't take
Yeah, that's become a thing.
Yes, you can't take the glass bottle.
Yeah.
And so I remember like I had a little can of wine out of the pool and I was like, this is the worst thing ever. And then I drank it in the pool and my mind went, this is the best thing ever.
It's really great. Yeah, it's great pool. Great
Yes.
pool drink.
Mhm.
Anyways, for those of you listening, hashtag not sponsored. Yeah.
All right, Jack. So we have a lot of listeners that are single and they're dating. They're on apps and they're looking for advice. I mean, what do you got? Like what?
I mean, hey, here. First off, let's again. I think this is more prevalent with women than men. You don't have to be in a relationship.
There you go.
Like, relax. Okay, it'll happen. Don't the moment anyone found out, like I had a lot of people when they found out.
Like, what is
Yeah,
that?
It's correct.
When people found out that I was in a relationship, I had like, a lot of people on Instagram were like, "Oh my god, congratulations!" What? Like, look, like anyone can be in a relationship. It's not hard to if you want to settle for someone or what. It's being in the right relationship.
Correct.
Can you
And-
give him another ding for that
Yes.
one? Okay, thank you.
It's not hard. All of us in this room can easily be in a relationship. And I think most people can. Come on. But, don't value yourself in whether you're in a relationship or compare yourself to other relationships that might actually be terrible or just a facade, right? The other thing is, don't try too hard. Be yourself.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I keep saying it, but just relax.
Yeah.
Like, chill the fuck out, people.
It's not that serious. It is serious.
It is
but it's
serious,
not-
but here's the other thing. I think get outside of your bubble. I would say that too. Like I think we have a tendency to always hang out with the same exact type of people and the same crowd. Try and go to events where you're going to meet other people and get outside of your comfort zone. Go travel some. Go join some groups. Have some interest. Right? Have some interest other than reality TV, right? Have some interest other than, your dog. Don't get me wrong. Love my dog.
Mm-hmm.
Addie, if you're listening, she's great.
She probably is.
She's not. She's a dog, but I wish she was. Yeah, like develop something that makes you as a person more interesting. And I think if you do that and you get outside your comfort zone, you're gonna find the right person. It's just a matter of time.
That's deep.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think he gets another one.
Maybe he gets a little bit of applause too.
Does he?
Yeah. There we go.
Where are those people coming from?
All right, Jack. So how can everyone find you? And
Yeah,
or plug whatever you have.
Jack J Stone on Instagram. Go follow me.
Cool.
Bring on those followers. Hell yeah, baby. If I get 5 followers from this,
You might get 6.
2, maybe 6.
Maybe 6. Set the
Amazing.
bar high.
Yeah, Jack J Stone on Instagram. I don't know. That's it. I'm not trying to plug anything. There's a cool company you might want to check out if you are a dog lover.
Okay.
Called For the Bite Reasons.
Is that legit?
It is legit.
Oh my
So
god.
instead of For the Right Reasons, we are a dog bowl company.
Nice.
And we have, really basic sort of sayings on dog bowls. They're actually kind of funny. We have for example, 2 bowls that say, one that says basic as fuck, if I can say that language.
You can say that
One
anytime.
that's
you
You've
want
been
to.
saying it
a lot.
all night.
I know.
So.
Sorry.
Yeah.
One that says thirsty as fuck.
Okay.
One that says Pooch Lorette on it. They're cute bowls. They're cool, and they go for a good cause, right? We're giving a percentage of our proceeds to Red Rover, which is a really cool pet charity that does a lot of good things out there. So if you want to give your money to a good cause, have some funny bowls, good talking piece, for the BITE reasons.com.
Bite reasons.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
So what did you learn from Jack, Emma?
Apparently I need to chill the F out.
I'm
Tell
not
that to my
exactly the right
biological
person
clock.
to take advice
No,
from.
because I
either,
like
so-
my whole thing, like listening to that was like, okay, right. Yes, you have a point, and women have a biological clock that
Right.
ticks because we really do. We have ovaries that produce eggs, and
Yeah.
after the eggs are all gone, like that's it, right? So I'm there with you that like I'm great where I am. My ovaries.
I get it.
Tell me a different story.
And actually, that's a good point, right? I mean, men don't have to worry about those.
No,
same
y'all
things.
don't.
It's kind of
Nope.
unfair, and I get that, but it'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
It will
It'll
happen
happen.
one day, and if not, it's okay.
Well,
Definitely.
look,
I
it's
love
gonna,
myself
look,
so much.
you
I
still-
do stuff for myself all the time.
You honestly you still got plenty of time. You really do.
So does
And,
Zorric.
Oh, sorry.
Stop. Don't work
Sorry.
so damn much, right? Get out there,
Yeah.
go meet people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go join that organization of yours. .org.
Yeah. What else?
What
Emma?
about Zorric? No, I'm good.
I learned that Jack is totally different than on TV. He's chill. He's a chill dude.
Thanks, man.
And he hates the
Hell
queen
yeah.
emoji for sure. Don't.
Dude.
It's my favorite.
Hashtag yoga. Hashtag mom life. Hashtag
Yeah.
blogger. It's just all basic stuff that I just see everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere
Yeah.
on Instagram and Twitter. All right.
Isn't it he who
man.
screams loudest? Oh no! Hold on. Can't think of it.
Ejaculates most.
Whoa.
Oh.
No, no,
Took a turn.
no!
wasn't
What's
expecting.
wrong with you?
What just happened?
Oh God! What's wrong with you?
On next week's episode.
We will finish this.
No,
Ejaculation.
basically, the point that I was trying to make is that like because Jack keeps saying like stop being so basic, stop being so basic. It's like then I think he must be a little bit basic.
I think it's just a product
being
of
a
I think
therapist.
look, it's the product of the people I've been around the last year.
Yeah.
You go on a Bachelor show and suddenly you're around people.
I was
that
I was
Bachelor.
teasing, but I mean, I guess
Yeah.
if the shoe fits.
Wear it.
Hey, this was fun. You guys are cool. And
Yeah.
what a great podcast.
Cool.
Great
Thank you.
topics being talked about here.
Jack, we could have talked to you
love
for
it.
like like 5 hours.
Hey, have me
There's gotta
back.
be
We,
more stuff, man.
We don't live far from each other.
Yeah.
So let's do this again.
Let's talk
Cool.
about like deep stuff, like relationship stuff, and stuff
Like go
that we
deeper. Like
you know, like
okay, yeah.
we can analyze because
Do
we
it.
talk a lot about statistics and dating, and
Totally.
everyone likes that.
I love bringing my therapeutic knowledge to the table.
I think it's great. And
Yeah.
let's see what the listeners think, and want to have me back, we'll do it. And it's been fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So if everyone wants to ask a question or send an email to us, you can reach us at hello@datepodcast.com, or you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at datepodcast.com. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Emma.
Bye.
Thanks, Jack.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey.